Okay, why don't we go ahead and get started? Welcome to my live Python coding channel. My name's Christian. I go by Tokyo EdTech, and this is actually part two. I did part one almost about a month ago now, and I'm really sorry to everybody that's been waiting for part two. I was a little bit sick, and then I'm in grad school at Georgia Tech, and I've had like a lot of projects due, and it's just been really, really hard. And anyway, I finished my last project last night. I still need to work on it a little bit, but I can submit what I have, so I'm feeling comfortable, I'm feeling happy, and I felt bad about not getting this done. And so here we go. So if you could just let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. I can't tell, the sound. I'm talking and the meter's moving, which is nice, but I don't know, how good the sound is. Let me know. I can turn it up. I can, if need be. I think. So let's get started here. So let me just talk real quick about where we're at. About a month ago, I'll put a link somewhere. I started this Tetris Part 1. And so tonight we're going to do Tetris Part 2, as you can see. And this is using Python 3, I think. Let me just check my programming editor. Python 3, good. Okay, it's just, I know people will ask, this is called Genie. This is the text editor I'm using. It's cross-platform, it is open source. I quite like it. It doesn't have all the features of something like Visual Studio Code, but it's really lightweight, it's really fast, and it does the job. So you might want to check that one out. For those of you who care about these things, I am running on Ubuntu Linux 1904. I've been waiting to finish my course so I could upgrade to 1910, and because I didn't want anything to go wrong and not be able to do my schoolwork. So let me stop babbling and let's get to the code. Like I said, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you're having trouble seeing the text. I can make it bigger if need be. So I'm going to go ahead and run this again. Genie, I'm just push F5. And it will run the program. Hopefully, unfortunately, it always comes up on the bottom video here. So I think this is what I had last time. Now I'm not sure why. Okay, so the levels are going down, which is nice. And you can see I've only done one box, which is not really very much. Thanks, Digital Creativity Club. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Digital Creativity Club, it's a friend of mine actually, and he makes some really awesome digital creativity stuff. So if you're looking to make graphics for your games, or you're looking to make some, how can you put it? Do some animations. He does some really amazing stuff, and he walks you through it step by step. So check his channel out. Hopefully he can throw a link down there and share that with everybody. That'd be great. So this is basically, I think, what we had last time. For some reason, I feel like we did more, but I guess maybe we didn't. So we got a score, we've got the things are landing, they're stopping, etc., etc. Okay, so now what we need to do is we actually need to start making some shapes. Okay, so let's go ahead and think about how we want to do that. Let's first actually review the code. I don't remember anything about this. It was like a month ago. So I've got a class called shape, and we have some random colors. Oh my gosh. And the shape can move left, as you can see. The shape can move right in our grid. And you notice I'm using the X coordinate to make sure it doesn't go off. So here's my grid, and I just threw some colors in there so we had something to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and make these all, I think I'm just going to go ahead and copy this over, make these all zeros. So we don't think, I think we're going to need that. Maybe I'll leave the bottom row in there just for fun. Now I've made some changes. I'm just going to go ahead and test it real quick just to make sure, I didn't screw anything up. So there we go. So that's working. So what we need to do is we need to create a shape. Okay, and we got a few things. It's drawing the grid, etc., etc. Digital Creativity Club is oopsing. So thinking about the shapes, okay, let's start with our basic shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to actually make a variable in here inside my class. I'm going to say self.shape. It's going to be a little weird, so it'd be shape.shape, but we'll live with that. Equals, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a list. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say 1, 1, 1, 1. And so basically, if we can get this working with one shape, we can basically get it working with any shape. Okay. And again, I don't have this planned out, so you're going to see some mistakes. You're going to see me going back. You're going to see things not working. May not finish this tonight. We have to go to part 3. Murtaja, we did this, or I did this about a month ago. So if you go to my YouTube channel, it was like 1 or 2 videos ago. So I uploaded something this morning in Java, yeah. So what I've done here is I've said self shape equals 1, 1, 1. Okay, and let me just kind of put that in perspective for you. So this is the square shape of the Tetris games. There's a square. It's actually 4 blocks. You're welcome, Murtaja. So basically what I'm saying is that this shape is, we got 1 row, and this row has 1 block, 2 blocks, and then I got this and this. Okay, so I've defined the shape, and I'm not sure what that's called, but we'll say block shape. I know they have names and stuff, but I can't quite remember them. So I'm going to go ahead and run that just to make sure that's working. Yep, it's working. I'll take my word for it. So compared to, well, let me run this again. So compared to this shape, it's too wide by too tall. Okay, so it's going to cause some problems with the code that we're using to collide. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down, I think way down here, and this is where I'm moving the shape. Okay, so if grid shape y plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so I think what I'm going to try here, again, I haven't figured this all out right now. So I'm going to say self.height equals length self.shape. I'll explain this in a minute. And self.width equals length self.shape 0. Okay. So if you don't know how lists work and list indices work in Python, I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel. If somebody reminds me, I'll link it down below later, and it walks you through some of these concepts. So basically, my list has 2 items. It's a list, actually it's a list 1, list 2 is inside of this full list. So there's 1 row and there are 2 rows. Okay, so the height is 2, and then the length of each row is also 2. So 1, 2. So there's 2 items in each row. So this is a 2 by 2 shape. So what I could do to prove that is I could put print self.height and self.width. And let's go ahead and do that because this is good practice. Let me pull this thing out. This looks a little weird, but it's fine. So you see how we see 2, 2 here. Okay, so that's how we can kind of test our code, make sure things are functioning as we expect. So every time it creates a new shape, it's printing that out. And I'm going to get rid of that in a minute. Get rid of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Oh, sorry, you can't see this, but yeah, it really annoys me. I don't know why it doesn't pop up on the same screen, but it annoys me to no end. Anyway, so yeah, let's see here. Okay, so we've got a shape. Now we've got to draw the shape. So let's see here. Where do we actually draw the shape at? I don't remember anymore. Okay, so this is where we did it. Okay, so this is where we're moving the shape. So what I've done, and I think, I wish I had done it differently actually, now that I think about it, but it's too late for that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the actual values into, so let's say the top left corner of my shape is here. So I'm putting the color of whatever random color is here, 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 and here. So that's basically how I have to start it. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to erase everything and move it down 1. Erase everything, move it down 1. Erase everything, move it down 1. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it probably wasn't the best idea. But anyway, in for a penny, in for a pound. So what I'm going to do is this part here says if shape y equals 23, we basically create a new shape, and then we check the grid to see if a row is filled. Now this 23 comes from this number. I'm assuming there's 24 rows here. I think that's right. So basically, like, if my shape gets to here, I know I've hit the bottom. Now the problem with this now is my actual shape, if this is my shape's XY coordinate, it's actually too tall now. Okay, so what I have to do is for this y equals 23, for this y equals 23, I got to do plus shape.height, and it's actually minus 1 because it's going to be 23. So it's going to be 23 plus 1, not plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and test that and see if it works. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I feel lucky. And F5. Okay. All right. Well, I got an error. So I guess that was not what I intended. And this does that. It's kind of weird. Let's run that again and see what happens. See what error we get. Okay, that is not list index out of range. Shape y plus 1. Okay, so it didn't stop for some reason. Shape.height. Well, let's try the plus 2. Let's get rid of the minus 1. Maybe I was wrong on that one. Yeah, test it. See what happens. Darn it, it stopped there for a second. And again, this is the process, unless you're super duper good at this and know exactly what you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and clear this and run it again. Let's see what happens. Okay, so line 155. Okay, shape Y. Ah, it's actually minus shape height. Dirt. Okay, minus shape height. And it might be plus 1. But let's try it, because that's going in the opposite direction. That's how we figure things out. So it should stop. Okay, so you can see how it's stopping not quite in the right spot, but that's okay. It's kind of what we wanted. So I think it is shape height plus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and test that. Okay, this is good. So what should be drawing is it should be drawing the whole thing here. This is the top left corner, then I should have a box. So I'm kind of making progress on what I wanted. Murtaja, I mentioned this earlier, I'm using Genie. You can see it right here at the top. Okay. So let me push that over. So the problem is that I'm checking for it, but I haven't actually drawn it in the grid. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, so I haven't thought this quite through very well. Okay, so if grid shape, so this second part here, okay, so this is like check for the bottom. It's partially working, and we'll fix that a little bit later. Check for collision with next row. Okay, so basically what I want to do is if there's a block here, I can't go past it. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at grid shape Y plus 1. Okay, but the problem is that now my height is 2. So I'm going to try the same thing here. Shape Y. Oh, Y plus 1. Oh, geez. Okay, I got to think this one through. Grid shape Y plus 1. Yeah, I'm going to think that through. Give me a minute to do this in my head real quick. Because I have... Okie dokie. Okay, so... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. this is not going to work perfectly, but it'll work a little bit. So grid shape y plus 1. Actually, I'm going to say plus shape dot height shape dot x. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, so if my shape is, let's say here, I want to check this block because it's plus the height, and I want to check at the same x. This will check the, so it's here's my xy plus 2. Got to see if there is a block there, and I also have to check this one plus 2. Okay, so it's a little bit of math there, and yeah, like I said, this is our. I know I'm doing something wrong, and there's probably an easier way to do this, but okay. And so I'm also going to check the. So this is the bottom left, and I'm going to check the bottom right. And so shape plus height, and then I want to check the shape x plus shape dot width, and it's going to be minus 1 because I don't want to go all the way off. Okay. So let's test this. I know it's hard because I haven't actually drawn it yet, but let's see what happens. So it should stop. Okay, and this one should stop up. There we go. Okay, it's not drawing it because I haven't done that part yet, but you can see here it's actually a block of 4, and that's what's going on there. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. I keep forgetting there's 2 screens. So let me run that again. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's coming, and these are the blocks that aren't drawn, but they are there. Blocks that are drawn but not there, aren't drawn, are there. You know what I mean. Okay, so that part is working. So far, so good. Shape y plus 1. Okay, so in here, so this is basically checking for collision with the next row. If there is space to go, I need to erase the current shape. I need to move the shape by 1. And then I need to draw the shape again. Okay. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not actually drawing it. That part was done somewhere else. Think here in the draw grid. I'm actually just moving numbers around this grid. So let's say I was color 4, so 1, so this would be 4, 4, 4, 4. Move it down, 0, 0, 0, 4, 4, 4, 4, etc., etc. Okay, so what I have to do is shape. I've got my shape y and my shape x. Okay, so 4x in range shape dot y, and 4. Oops, I gotta do y. Sorry, because you gotta do row and then column. X in range shape dot x. This isn't me erasing the shape. So shape dot y plus, sorry, let's see, plus y and plus x. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I think this is going to work. I'm not 100% sure. And instead of erasing it, because now I've moved it, I'm going to go ahead and put in the color. I think that'll work. Oh, we'll find out. Okay, so F5, and that did not work, not even close. Okay, oh, that's all right. It is part of the process. Okay, so I'm going to clear this, and maybe I'll make this a little wider until I need the turtle stuff. Okay, I don't need that quite now. So clear, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. Okay, so something's not working. List index out of range. Okay, not surprised. This is shape width, and this is height and width. Duh. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, I'm not quite getting what I want, but nothing's gone wrong, which is good. So the drawing part is not working. Oh, I did the same thing. I gotta fix this. For Y and range, shape, height, and shape. This is one of those things like you should wait till you get your code working and then how do you do it? Shape dot width, and then copy and paste. It's always a good policy. Okay. So anyway, just a warm thanks to the people that are sitting here watching this live. It's interesting. I think watching people code and just seeing the mistakes and hearing the interesting words they come up with. So shape.width. So 5, and it is still not working, which is annoying. Okay, so let me think about this. So grid shape. That part's working. Oh, duh. Plus Y plus X. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. And oh my gosh, there it goes. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, now we're making some progress. Now, here's something I need to do, is I need to check and make sure I can still move it. Okay, so you can see there's some problems there. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so it doesn't go off the left side, which is good, but now it's gone. I know, I'm pretty happy about that too, buddy. Now it won't go right, which is problematic, but one problem at a time. Let's see here. Why is it not going right? D, that's still working. Oh, okay. Okay, so I should have made this a function. I'm sorry. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and copy and paste, and you can fix that one later, I guess. So when I move left, I have to delete. I have to delete it basically. So I basically got to do the same test here that I did down here, and this just isn't good enough to be perfectly honest. But since I started it, I'll go with it. So I got to see if I'm on the left side. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna do it the easy way. So basically, I got to do the drawing thing again. Okay, so I'm gonna try. Actually, here's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and make a function to do this. So I'm gonna say def draw shape and self and grid. Okay, and then so draw shape. So that is this method here. Okay, draw the shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and test this. So I'm gonna say shape dot hi elements, how you doing? Draw shape. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of here. And I hope to God this works. Because if not, I'm gonna be doing a lot of cutting and pasting. Okay, so draw shape, grid, shape, height. Okay, now because I'm inside of a class, I gotta use self, not shape. And if you're not sure what that means, I would check out the Socratica lesson on Python classes and objects. It's very well done. Okay, I'm gonna hit F5 and got an error. Grid. I forgot to put grid down here. Self.draw shape, and I want to draw it on the grid. Okay. Oh my gosh, it is working. I'm very happy to see that. And it's still stopping. These are good signs. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay. And then I want to also make a method called erase shape. Def erase shape self grid. And it's essentially the same thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. And instead of self color, it's going to be 0. Because 0 represents black, nothing. Okay. So I'm going to try erase shape down here. So shape dot erase shape and grid. Okay, let's test it again. And it is still falling. Very good news. It still doesn't move to the right, but I'll figure that out in a minute. But it does move to the left. Okay, so that's pleasant. Why is it not moving to the right? Move right. So it must have something to do with the code. So self.x is less than 11. Okay. Okay. So x minus 1. So left is working fine. So we'll leave it as it is. If self.x is less than 11. Now 11 came from the fact that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I'm here and I've got one block, I can move here. But now we have to account for the width. So it's less than 12 minus self.width. Grid self.y. Okay, and say oops equals 0. Well, let's leave it like that for now. Okay, so I need to self.erase shape. And then, yeah, let's try that, see what happens. I don't know if that's going to work, but okay, that's a good sign. D is still not working, but A is working. Why is that? Ah, erase shape, grid. And let me just, okay, I'm not sure if this is even working. So right. So I'm going to see if it's getting to this part of the code. So I'm just going to print that out and see what happens. So if I push D, I should see right over here. Okay, so it is getting to here, but the code is not moving. Ooh, it moved. That's freaky. That's a good sign. X is less than 12. Say print self.x just to see where the x value is. So I'm just kind of figuring it out. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay. Got it. Okay. So what's happening is, so let's say here's my x coordinate, but I've also got the, I put a value here, and like I said, I wish I had done it slightly differently. But basically, because all of these have now been changed, I've got to look at self y x not plus 1, but plus self.width. Okay. I didn't have to do it here because I'm just looking at the left side, so it should be fine. Now again, there's a couple of mistakes here, but it'll still run, I think. Okay, D, oh my gosh, there we go. Let's see if we can get it to delete a few rows here. Oh my gosh, that part's working. Pretty cool. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay, so let's see why left is not working. Oh, so in left we have to self.erase shape grid. Just gotta be consistent. Sorry, sorry. Okay, my apologies. There you go. So left, right, Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty happy with this. And let's see if the boxes disappear. Oh my gosh, it's working. That is pretty darn cool. Okay, so here's the next thing. So kind of have a slightly working game. So what I want to do now is I want to make some new shapes. Okay, so what I'm going to try here is I'm going to try a little experiment. I don't remember all the different shapes, but I'm going to give the shapes some names. I'm going to say, I guess we can call this square. Okay. And I'll leave it like this so we can kind of see what's going on. Square, square. And let me do some of the other shapes. So we've got a horizontal line. So I'm going to call this one line. And that one is 1, 1, 1. Because it's just a horizontal line. There's no second level to that one. Let's see, we'll call this H line. Now horizontal line. And then I can make a vertical line. Okay, so that's going to be 1, comma, and then a bunch of ones. And I'll put it over here just so it's pretty clear how it works. Be careful with your brackets, don't screw those up. 1, comma, comma, 1. Okay, you can see what I'm doing there. And I'll do one more. I'll do the article. What else we got? We got an L. So left L. And that one is 1, 0, 0, 0, comma, yeah, 1, 1, comma, 1, comma, 1. Okay, actually, I'll go ahead and get rid of these extra spaces. I usually put spaces in, but in this case, we don't need them. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, watch what I do here. I'm going to say shapes equals square, horizontal, spelled wrong, line, vertical line, left L. Okay. And what I want to happen is each time I want a random shape. So self.shape equals random.choice shapes. Okay. So what this does is, choose a random shape each time. Okay. And here's my list of possible shapes. Now I'll add the rest later, but let's just test it and see what happens. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's a vertical shape. Okay, okay, it's not going off the screen. That's weird. I don't know why that happened. Oh, I do know why that happened. Oops. Well, that was pretty cool. But I've got that thing. That is, you can see there's a couple errors piling up here now. That's kind of cool. Okay. Well, we're getting there. This is part of the testing process. So you can see what's happening is it's drawing all of these. Okay, so it's drawing the ones, it's drawing the zeros, drawing the zeros, drawing the zeros. Okay, so we got to go up to our, we'll go down to our draw shape. So what we have to do is we have to say if self.shape y x equals 1. I'll explain that in a second. Okay, so we have to iterate through, so we go here, 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 here. If it's a 1, then we change the color. Okay, if it's not, then we don't. So in this case, it'll draw here, not draw here, not draw here. And the other thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to, for erase, we'll need to do the same thing. And copy. because we don't want to accidentally erase something that is not part of our shape. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and run it again, and hopefully we won't see those errors. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's working. It is working. Okay, now you can see there's a slight error there. Maybe we'll get to, ooh, that's not good. It's just crushing stuff. I mean, I know what it's doing. I just didn't bother to fix it. Okay, so you can see a couple things there. So I'm going to leave that error there for now. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the shapes because there's quite a few. We've got right L, and that's going to be, let's copy this one because it's very similar. Right L, and right L is 0001. 00001, and I think it looks like that. Put one more space there, and let's see what else do we got here. I'm just gonna copy this and take that out. So we got right L, we've got S, left S, and what does that look like? S. That's 0, 1, 1. So you just say I'm basically kind of just drawing the shape with numbers. That's, yeah. So the S shape left is 0 is left is 1, 1, 0, and 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1, and 1, 0. And okay, thanks Murtaja, appreciate that. See you next time. And I'm going to go ahead and do left shape, left L, right, left S, and I'm going to do right S. And so this should be 0, 0, 1, and 1, 0, 0, 1. Oh, there's also a T shape, forgot about that one. Let's call it T. T equals, and that's going to be and comma. That's going to be 0, comma 1, comma 0. And I know I haven't talked about rotation yet. Comma 1, comma 1. So I just need to add those to our list here. Left L. Right L, left S, right S, and T. So here are our shapes. Yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and test it and see what got an error. 0, 1, 1, line 48. Something's wrong. Line 4. Oh, I forgot to put a comma there. I forgot to put a comma there. Oops. Coding is very picky. You forget those things, it gets very upset. Put this here so we can kind of see what our shape looks like. Okay. All right. Now we're going. Oops. There we go. That's not what I wanted to happen. Now you can see there's still some collision errors, and I can explain why in a minute. And I can't rotate. So that one works just fine. Okay, so that one's working. Let's see, this one, I think this one's working fine. Oops, that's not correct. What the heck shape was that? What the heck was that supposed to be? That's supposed to be an L. Left L, right L. What the heck shape was that? 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. One of the shapes is not working quite correctly. Why is that? Well, if anybody can figure that out, let me know. But we'll leave that for now. I know there's like that extra little dot there, but I'm just going to leave that as well. Why the heck is that doing it? So that's 1, 2. So I think it's this one's not quite working right. 101. It's like this one is not working, and I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna leave that go for now. There's a discretion is the better part of. Oh, it's this. Duh. The right S, left S, right S. So let's try it one more time. There it is. Okay. I know we can't rotate anything yet. Don't think I'll get that tonight. And then it does that weird disappearing thing too. I'm just gonna leave that. I do want to fix this. That's really annoying me. So you see how basically what's happening is it's only checking here. It's not checking all the exact spots. So that might be a little challenging to fix, but let's give it a shot. So let's see here. So this is where it's searching for a collision. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a little, I don't know. I'm going to make a function to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Shape dot what can I call that? Call it can move. Okay. Grid. So if the shape can move, we erase it and move it. So up here, I'm going to make a new method for my shape class. Def can move self grid. And so what I want to do is I'm just going to copy what I already have. Return true, else return false. So I'm just using the exact same code that I used earlier. So I'll have the same mistake. But if this works, then I can, then I know this is basically working. Now again, because I'm inside of a class, I got to use self, not shape. And I'll simplify this hopefully with some loops here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run it and make sure it's working exactly as it did before. Okay, so far so good. Okay, still not going off the screen. I'm happy to see that. Okay. Yeah, see that doesn't work. Alrighty. I still can't rotate anything, but okay, making progress. Oh, okay. So it's still working. It still has the same error where it's just going down through stuff. So it's only checking the bottom left and the bottom right corner. Okay, so let's fix that real quick. So what do we have to do? So basically we have to check and see if any of the bottom, well, I guess if all of the bottom slots are open. Okay, so I'm basically going to be looking at the bottom row of the shape. So for x in range, self.width. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say can, let's see, say result. Let's see, result equals true. Let's try it that way. So what do we got to look for? If any one of those is a 1, we can't do anything. Okay, so actually we don't even need to do that. Okay, so our row is going to be, so if self.shape, see how I can do this here. Okay, so if the shape has a 1, self.shape, self.height, self.y plus self.height, okay. Think about this for a second. It's a tough one. So self.shape, self-y plus self-height. So if my shape is a square, I gotta look here, and then I gotta look here. But I gotta know if this is a 1 first. Okay, so check if bottom is a 1. So if self.shape self.height minus 1 and self x equals 1. Okay, there we go. Check if the bottom. So I'm checking to see if this bottom row has a 1 here, 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 or here. Okay. Then I need to check the grid. So if grid self.y plus y, self.y plus self.height dot height x, if it equals a 1, I cannot move, so I can just return false here. Okay, and then once it's checked all of them, if it makes it through, I return true. Okay, so all I need to do, and I should have done a little better graphical job here. All I need to do is I need to find out if any, let's say it's this whole long thing here. If any one of these is a 1, so they're all 1s, if this is a 1, it's got to stop. If this is a 1, it's got to stop. If this is a 1, it's got to stop. If this is a 1, it's got to stop. So if this is a 1 and then this is a 1, it cannot move. Okay? So if it can move, so if they're all open, I'm going to move the shape. Let's try that. I think that'll do it. Unless I got an error. Which I did. Line 95. Oh, need a parenthesis. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. That's not working. That's not working. Oh, that's not working. Okay, clearly my math is off. So let me try this again. Okay, I have to admit, I thought this would work. There's a thought here. Okie dokie. Alright, so I have to do a little bit of testing here, I think. And let me give this some thought. Can move self-grid, else return true for Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to self.width, self.height, self.height. Why does that not work? Okay, so I'm going to go down here for a second. Oh, I deleted it. Heh, brilliant. Shape.canMove grid. Okay, so let me try it one more time. So at the bottom is a 1. Okay, so if I've got a square, let's try that. Let's do it with it. Well, let's do it with this. I'm just copying this temporarily so I can look at it while I'm looking at the code. Okay, so x in range self width. Width should be 4. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if self shape, so if this shape, the height should be 2. So 1 is this row, and x is going to be 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. Then I check if the grid, self.x plus x. Yeah, I thought x was a bad variable name. Okay, because I didn't do the offset there. So let's try that. Darn it. Darn it. Jeez. That's annoying. That one's working. That's not working. Let's see here. Okay. Result equals, maybe it's something weird for one of those weird programming things. I'm going to say result equals false, return result. Let's try that. Nope. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to kind of print out what's going on. So I'm going to say print, actually, so inside my loop here, I just want to print out everything that's happening. So print x self.height. No, that's fine. Self.height minus 1. And self.y plus self.height. And self.x plus x. So basically I'm just kind of printing out everything. I could use a debugger and step through everything, but okay, that's really not helping, to be honest. All right, so let me do this real quick. So instead of say print, say input, sorry, delay, I usually do this equals input. This will just stop the program, I hope. Yeah. Okay, so in the first case, we had x was 0, self height is 1, 2. Okay, so let me go ahead and iterate through. Let me go ahead and let's take a look at this. And again, this is part of the process. Okay, so I've got x is 0, 1, 2. So that's 0, 1, 2. That's good. And then self height minus 1 is 1, 0, 1. That's good. And then we got self x plus x, self y. Okay, self y plus self height. So I assume this is 1, and then that's 3. Okay, so far so good. And our x plus 0, 1, 2. Okay, that is weird. Aha. 1. Okay, got it. Okay, so in our grid, that's a stupid mistake. In our grid, I'm looking for 1, which is only, I forget which color 1 represents, but 1 represents light blue. So I don't want to look for a 1, I want to look for a color. So if it's not black, not equal to 0. Okay, that's probably going to do it. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Now I'm pretty confident, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And boom, it's stopping. That one's stopping. 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 Okay. And okay, it seems like it's working. Now I haven't done anything about like ending the game or anything like that, but and oh my gosh, it's working now. I'm a very happy camper. And we saw some weird things. But anyway, you know, I think we got kind of a working type Tetris game. I know there's some problems with it. It needs to have a reset and everything like that. But I do need to take a break and to call it a night. So I'm going to have to stop here. I will put this code in my, oops, that's not what I wanted. I'll put this code into my GitHub. And the link is already in the video description. And I'll put that into our chat real quick for those of you who are here on the chat. And so I'll put the current version. This is part 2. I'll put that in there, and you can go ahead and play with that and see how things are going. If I get a chance, I'll follow up on this, but this might be where I kind of end it. I think the rest of it's just kind of playing around, just adding, you know, rotating the shapes. You know, it's not too exciting to me, to be perfectly honest. But it might be kind of an interesting thing. I don't know. It might be an interesting coding challenge. So anyway, thanks so much to everybody who stopped by. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that. You know, if you do have questions, please, you know, drop me a line on my, you know, make a comment on my channel. And I do try to help people, but please be sure to include your source code, because I cannot help you without that. So yeah, so thanks everyone. I'm just going to type that in here real quick. Thanks for coming. And you know, if a lot of people want to see a little bit more like rotation and a couple other things, let me know if I have time. But otherwise, I got a lot of requests. I want to try and maybe move on to something else. But I'm pretty happy. At least the basics are done here. And I think you could probably move on from there. Okay? Everybody have a great night, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And I will see you on the, I guess I'll see you on the internet somewhere. Okay, take care, everybody.